What are the key installation considerations for water stop angles at wet area entries? Let's move on to the next common termination detail used at the perimeter of wet areas without a wall: water stop angles. Water stops are non-porous angles that allow the membrane to extend to the vertical face, effectively creating a fully isolated wet area. Water stop angles are commonly available in 3 different materials: stainless steel, PVC, and aluminum. Water stop angles can be used in both internal and external areas, depending on the design. Let's look at some of the most common applications. The first is wet area entry. At doorways or entry points to wet areas, water stop angles help contain water, preventing it from spreading into adjacent rooms or spaces. Second, shower perimeter without set-down or hob. Water stop angles are installed at the base of the shower enclosure to create a barrier between the shower floor and the surrounding space, ensuring water doesn't seep into adjoining areas. Also, balconies and terraces. Water stop angles are installed at the junction where the floor meets the parapets or behind doors to prevent water from flowing back into the building. We will look at the entry points to a wet area first. A water stop angle is always positioned within the width of the door at the entry point to a wet area, regardless of whether a set-down and concrete substrate is present. The water stop helps isolate the wet area from the internal dry area and ensures a clear boundary is maintained during tiling. The location of a water stop angle in a wet area doorway varies based on the type of door, whether it's a sliding or hinge door, and, for hinge doors, the direction in which the door opens inward or outward. Generally, bathroom doors open inward into the wet area. In such cases, the water stop is installed on the internal rebate of the door jamb or bathroom side of the jamb. As you can see here, this is the wet area. The door will be positioned here, between these door jambs. Notice how the water stop angle is placed specifically on the wet area side, exactly within the door width. For steel door jambs, the jamb may extend directly onto the wet area substrate. In such cases, it's essential to cut the water stop to the correct length, ensuring it runs fully to the face of the jamb on both ends, without leaving any gaps. A compatible sealant must then be applied along the vertical face where the water stop meets the jamb, as well as along the bottom flange, before proceeding with the membrane application. What about the timber door jamb? In the case of timber door jambs, the jamb should be trimmed locally, and the water stop should sit under the door jamb and extend all the way to the perimeter walls. It is important to ensure the trim jamb is finished 2 mm above the floor finish, allowing a gap for sealant to be applied at the corner to achieve a watertight seal. This variation in detailing is because we aim to waterproof against the wall or angle and avoid waterproofing against the timber door frame, as it will rot when exposed to moisture. Now let's consider the next scenario, where the door opens outward from the wet area. For doors that are required to open outward, such as those in accessible bathrooms, the water stop angle should be installed on the outer rebate of the door jamb, beneath the door. In these situations, it is necessary to trim the door jamb to accommodate the horizontal leg of the water stop. As otherwise, the water stop would clash with the jamb, or it may be cut short, both of which are not acceptable outcomes. Again, it is critical to ensure the water stop is cut to the correct size and extends fully to the face of the door jamb at both ends. Relying on sealants to detail large end gaps is incorrect, as these gaps often become points of failure. It is important to note that depending on the location of set down in the slab, the door jamb material, and the extent of door jamb above the substrate, there would be other requirements for some localized detailing to allow for correct membrane termination. Here is an example where the steel door jamb has been completely trimmed above the water stop, requiring the waterproofing membrane to be extended onto the wall. However, because the wall beneath the door jamb is uneven or damaged, it must first be patched before applying sealant at the junction between the water stop and the wall. Additionally, it is essential to properly seal the edge of the water stop with sealant at the junction where it meets the wall. This step is critical to maintaining the integrity of the waterproofing system. Note that there are several other issues with this installation, which will be discussed later. Now, let's move on to the last scenario, a sliding door. In this case, the water stop angle must be properly returned at a 90-degree angle on the cavity pocket side and connected to the perimeter flashing to create a continuous barrier around the wet area. This critical detailing is often overlooked, with the water stop sometimes left straight, allowing moisture to escape into the wall cavity, compromising the overall effectiveness of the waterproofing system. What about the opposite end? While there is no need to return the water stop at the opposite end, it must still extend fully to the end of the door jamb rebate. To comply with these requirements, the door jamb must be trimmed at both ends to allow correct installation of the water stop angle. Take a look at the water stop detail at this sliding door. As you can see, it hasn't been returned at a 90-degree angle on the cavity side and has been stopped short. In addition, it has also been cut short at the other end and does not extend fully to the door jamb. These areas present high-risk points and have the potential to become failure zones. It is important to highlight that the required detailing for various scenarios is comprehensively outlined in AS 3740. For more information, you can refer to this document. See you in the next video. Teletraining produces the most practical content for the construction industry.